The parish was first a prayer house, a mass house, and priests would come and go to serve the Irish in the area who came to dig the canals. And over the years, more Irish came and stayed. And originally we were out near our parish center, our cemetery. Then we moved into town. But then we lost our church during the fire of, I'm going to say 1880. And it was completely, the town was devastated. And then we rebuilt, I think in 1888. Has a great history. Some of the great pastors of the diocese served here. Of recent memory would be Monsignor Topper. He was so proud that he established the school. And I'm going to say that was 1955. Many of the very staunch, active Catholics in the parish to the day, now they're in their 70s and 80s, they went to the Catholic school. They remember the Catholic school. And another pastor of memory was Father Walt Semko. And he came here in the early 60s. He left in 67. And he bragged about the fact that he bought a school bus with green stamps. And he was so proud of that. He expected every family to have 2 books of green stamps to help him buy a bus, and he did. So I look back, I knew both of those priests, admired them as a young priest, admired Monsignor Topper, and Father Semko was a dear friend for many years, and they were kind of an inspiration to me. Now this is a industrial town. It was originally called Milltown. Then it became Milton. There were many, many refineries and factories and processing plants. And over the years, they all went by the wayside. But the parish continues to try to struggle and survive in spite of the lack of those old industries that supported us. And we have wonderful people, very devoted people, and they're an inspiration to me, and I'm thankful to be here. Now, in regards to St. Joseph, when I was a little boy and I was getting ready to be confirmed, I chose St. Joseph to be my patron saint for confirmation. And over the years, I always prayed to St. Joseph to help me. And so then when I was ending my cancer treatment at Bethesda in the Navy, and I was coming out of the Navy, and our former bishop, Father McFadden, asked me to come to St. Joe's in Milton. And right at that point, I was in between. I was coming out of the Navy, I was getting cancer treatments, and I said, "Where is Milton?" And he told me. He said, "Will you go there?" And I went. And then I said, "I think I want to stay." So it was kind of a combination, good, solid, blue-collar workers, families, and also my beloved patron saint, St. Joseph. And I thought, okay, I'm reaching the end of my career. It'll be good for me to end my career serving St. Joseph. It was our bloodstream, our DNA, as a blue-collar worker parish family. We're a parish that reaches out to others. Now, fortunately, we have a very generous bequest through the Boyardi Trust that we're able to give thousands of dollars every year to those specifically in need of food. And the parish does this. And we also have money to take people who come to us for need. So I would say I'm thankful that the church got the year of St. Joseph, but we were already doing the life of St. Joseph as a parish.
We try to make birthdays very special. We try to make Christmas presents and Easter. During the COVID, we had 10 folks at Milton Rehab. 5 have died. through the COVID. But during that time, we were sending the bulletins, and Stephanie was making up a bulletin because evidently the bulletin place closed down. All right, so we sent them, and they did feel very happy to be included in knowing what was going on in the parish. Because I put stuff in about the church and Father's sermons, and so I put stuff in about my sister when she adopted her daughter. I put stuff in from, I might see on the internet, I saw something on the internet about a blind horse and a young horse, and they love that kind of stuff.
I started attending St. Joseph in 1992, the year that I married my husband, Tom. I was not Catholic at the time. I actually grew up not really regularly attending church at all. I converted to Catholicism in the year 2000. Another gentleman, Brad, and I actually went through all the sacraments together and became Catholic at the age of 30. So I had 2 young children. We were attending church, and I just kind of had this epiphany of thinking, here I am attending church. Why I'm not welcome at the table. I want to join with what my family is experiencing. So at that point, I'm had that revelation. It's time and that calling. So I joined the church and became Catholic at the age of 30. St. Joseph Church, we are a working church, and this is a huge extension of my family. I have grown to love so many people that go to this church. It's a really great group of people to belong to. I probably enjoy spending time more so with people here than regular family. I think one of those earlier moments, and I actually wasn't even Catholic at that point, it was when I was attending church, but was the conception of our parish center and the knowledge and the thinking that a lot of those parishioners that have since passed, but the thought process that went into building that parish center and what they're planning and what they have given us today is just a huge gift. And we do use it for our education. It is a big area for a lot of our fundraising, and currently with COVID we have Mass there. So just without them, my goodness, where would we be today? Would we not have been able to have Mass? Would we not be able to have an education program or just even fundraising to help give back to our communities?
My son grew up here, my grandchildren grew up here, my son's wife were married here. So we've been a part of this for a long time. My mother converted in 1996, I think. We had always gone to church. She was a volunteer and, gave of her time when she could, and then she developed dementia and couldn't come, but Father was faithful to her and visited her regularly. And during COVID, she died at the nursing home of COVID, and Father was there with her hours before she passed away, and that was good for me to know that somebody was with her. But I don't know what we'd do without him. He is, he is our Father, basically, and does everything for us and the community, and he takes care of them as well as he does us, the parishioners.
Many years ago, the priest that was here is Father Tom Scala, and we were going to celebrate our 200 years in our church, and he wanted a historical quilt made. And another parishioner, Peggy Shaw, and myself, we did almost all the sewing on the quilt. We came up with some ideas of the history of our church, which was all new to me because I am not from Milton. So I did not know any of this information about the church. I just thought we were a church on Broadway, and that was pretty much it. Anyway, I found out through this that we were a mission church. And some of this stuff I didn't even know. Like Father Tom said, this area was explored by Lewis and Clark, which is why Lewis and Clark is up there. If you're wondering, who is that? That's who that is. And our diocese was not the Harrisburg Diocese. I believe it was Baltimore and then Philadelphia before it became Harrisburg. And We were a mission church up there in the corner, not the corner, one in 1812, I believe. That was our idea of what our mission church may have looked like. Catty corner to that here. Somebody had drawn a picture of the cabin, which was just a cabin of worship, which is kind of funny because I don't think of Catholic churches being that type of church, like a cabin of worship. First of all, when I found out how much history was in our little church, I was just amazed because I had no idea. This little church in Milton, moving to this town was amazing to me too because I'm not from here. So it was pretty incredible to learn that we were the main church up here at one time. We were like the only church, a mission church up here. And that all these other parishes branched out because of us.
I came here with great love for St. Joseph, and we moved his statue next to the Blessed Mother. And we have tried to articulate the basic common sense, ordinary coming and going of grace that we would see in St. Joseph.